Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel where today, on the eve of finding out who is in the Super Bowl, spoiler alert, it is the worst possible outcome, Chiefs and Eagles. We're going to try to look for a little bit of hope for us Packers fans as we're going to do another mock draft Monday here. As usual, we're doing a 7-round full mock draft for the Green Bay Packers here on PFF. I just love this tool. It is very easy to use, to be honest, so I really do appreciate. Speed going to be a little bit slower to begin with, and then we'll have all the default settings, and I think that makes it the easiest to do. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm not going to do any trades right now, but depending on how we do in the first round, how the board falls, we might trade back in the first round, but that would be the only trade that we do. So let's go ahead and start the draft here. Ward, Hunter, Sanders, Carter, McMillan, Starks, Johnson, Graham, Burden, Simmons, Pierce, Genty, Campbell, Morrison, Green, Banks, Egbuka, Grant, Stewart, Williams, Warren, and Soya. So I really want the Packers to take a first round cornerback. But the problem is there's no teams interested in trading up with us, and we'll have to force a trade through. So, we're going to try to trade with either the Rams or the Ravens here. Go back to Baltimore, pick 27. And they gave us 127, 176, 183, and 213. And we'll give them 199 and get a bunch of picks. So, let's go ahead and force this trade through because I am an evil goblin and I don't care. So we're going to do that because I think this is more of a way to explain different prospects as well. So the more picks we have, the more players we can take, and the more prospects we can analyze. So let's go ahead and resume the draft. Golden. And yes, everything went perfectly because the guy I want to take, today, Barron. The more I learn about these guys, I mean, any of these first-round corners would be good because there's also Trey Amos, really good corner out of Ole Miss, who is really good in coverage. Really good coverage. Had 2 pick sixes, 3 interceptions. Also a pretty big guy. And Siobhan Ravel, I heard, is a really good prospect as well. He only played in 3 games due to injury. I'm a little bit more avoidant of that, especially with what happened with Jair Alexander and Eric Stokes with the injuries that they have had. But he also looks really, really good too. I mean, either of those 2 guys, I'll be fine with the Packers taking. But the guy I want the Packers to take, Jahdae Barron. Dude is awesome. Had a pass rating against a 33.1, had 5 interceptions, a 90 overall grade. Has experience in the slot, good on the outside corner. Great in zone, great coverage, good run defender. Could work a bit on man coverage, which I know Halfley likes to run more of. But he looks really, really, really good, and he's a guy I want the Packers to take in round 1 because we need a top-of-the-line corner, and we're going to go ahead and draft Jahdae Barron here. So we're going to sim all the way to round 2, which I think is going to be good. Prince 50, pick 55. I want one of these. No, Higgins. No, and back 2. Oh, okay. So my draft crushes are Jaden Higgins. I love this guy. And of course, the dang Bengals had to go and take him. And Jack Beck is the guy I always kind of settle for, but he's also really good too. Also got taken for. But luckily, there's a wide receiver who took like Xavier Restapro, who is definitely small for the Packers. But 61.5 contested catch rate as a 5'11 wide receiver. 5'10 wide receiver. Really good yards per route. Great against man coverage with the Packers. And he had 2 back-to-back really good years. Had really good production there at Miami. Had a really good season. Played in 12 games. Only had 2 drops. He is a potential option. Another option we can do here is go edge. I know that's not really a popular option because we always draft high edges and they don't really work out. But Kyle Kennard looks to be a pretty solid guy as well. Really good pass rush grade, decent run defense grade, 13.1% pass rush win rate. Had 10 sacks last season. Can get to the quarterback. Had 23 hurries, 6 quarterback hits. Had a couple of good games last year. He's 6'5", 254, so a big guy. He's potential there. Also could potentially trade back with Houston, but I don't want to do that here. Not really much else around this time. So it's really between Restapro and Kennard. And I think we just need to have a receiver. The guys that I really like are already gone. I know his size doesn't really fit the Packers' normal size, but he is great against man coverage, really good contested catch, has a lot of college production, and doesn't drop the ball. I think Xavier Restapro could be a really good consolatory prize here in round 2. So I was going to take him here with pick 55. I just wish either Higgins or Beck fell to us, because those guys I am in love with as prospects. So our next pick is pick 87. I'm hoping Harmon is still here for us. Yes. 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 Okay. There's a couple guys here I like. Derek Harmon looks to be an absolute wrecker of an interior defensive line presence. I know that it is not listed as one of our needs, but I really do think we could use to upgrade here, because Kenny Clark has fallen off the cliff these past 2 years. Devontae Wyatt, we don't know what he's going to be like contract-wise. TJ Slay is a really good run stopper, but not a good pass rusher. This guy looks fantastic as a pass rusher. 86 pass rush grade, 91 true pass set rush pass rush grade, which is solid. A 17.6% pass rush win rate in the Big Ten. 5 sacks as an interior defensive lineman. Big guy, 6'5", 310-pound monster of a defensive lineman. I love Derek Harmon here. But another thing here, too, we can double dip in wide receiver and take Trey Harris, who is another guy I really love. Really, really great against man coverage. Great contested catch rate. Great receiving grade. Only played 8 games last year, but also had over 1,000 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns. And he is a big guy. Fits the Packers size profile perfectly as well. So it really comes down to my preference here, because I absolutely love both Harmon and Harris. But I really do think that Harmon will fit a big need on that defense. So we're going to go ahead and draft Harmon, and I'm going to try. Pause. Of course, Trey Harris went immediately after me, but no big deal. I still think Harmon will be a fantastic player, but I wish I could have paused and traded and gotten both Harmon and Harris there. So let's go and get going to pick 123. This is when we get a lot of picks in a row in the later rounds, where I think the Packers really do find gems, and I want to explore as many of these prospects as we can, because I think the gems that we can find here are incredible. So pick 123. There's a couple of guys here. There's a receiver here, Torrey Horton out of Colorado State. I've not really done much into. Only played in 5 games last year with injury, but his previous year was really, really solid with them. He's 6'3", 185 pounds, so big, tall, lanky guy, but could be good for us. 50% contested catch rate, good receiving grade. Only had 1 drop last year, but is coming off an injury, it looks like here. So, but he could be an option. There's also Luke Kandra here, guard, because I think we do need some interior offensive line depth here. But he could be back here at pick 127. There's also Pat Bryant, who I also kind of like here. Sorry, 84.4 grade last year. 54 receptions, 984 yards, 10 touchdowns, really great contested catch rate, good against man and coverage. I think we're going to take him. 6'3", 200 pounds. He's basically kind of like Trey Harris for me, and I think he's someone that the Packers could really, really use. So I'm going to take Pat Bryant here, wide receiver from Illinois. And now that we're here at pick 127, I think I'm going to take Luke Kandra here, guard out of Cincinnati, because I think the Packers do need some guard depth here. We saw in the playoffs when Elton Jenkins went down that we didn't really have anyone behind him. And I think Kandra could be a really solid player for us. 6'4", 323 pounds. So we'll take Kandra out of Cincinnati. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward here a little bit. To pick 160 is our next one here. And here I think we're going to take a center. There's a couple guys here. There's Jake Majors, who could possibly be a good fit for us out of Texas. A lot of experience at center, really good pass blocker at center, which Josh Myers struggled with. Not so great in a run blocking here for the Packers. 23 is a bit of an older prospect, but there's also Seth McLaughlin out of Ohio State, more of a not as good as a pass blocker, and is coming off of an injury as well. So he could potentially be good. Both guys are basically the same size, same age, but I think we need an impact pass blocking center because Josh Myers was absolutely terrible at that for us last year. Gave it like the second most pressure out of all centers last year. And Majors has allowed a sack in 2 years. And I think that's something the Packers really, really need. And I think his run blocking with the way our offensive linemen develop can be really good. So I just want to take Jake Majors, center, out of Texas there. And then I pick 176. I think we're going to look here for a linebacker. And the one thing we haven't addressed is edge, which isn't great, but yeah, edge, rusher. Not really much here to about pick 200, really. 209, we'd probably be able to find one. But here, I think we need to get another linebacker for the Packers. Smal Mondon Jr., really good run defender, good pass defender. Not a decent missed tackle rate. Played in 10 games last year. Had 38 tackles. 6'3", 235, senior, 22 years old. We don't know what the contract with Quay Walker is going to be like. And even if we do sign him, we need a third guy next to Quay Walker and Edgerrin Cooper. Because Isaiah McDuffie's probably going to leave. We don't want to re-sign him. And Eric Wilson might be re-signed, but mainly at special teams. And Smal Mondon Jr. could be a good guy for us here at pick 179, so we'll go ahead and take him here at 176. So now back at pick 183, I think I'm going to look here at corner. And there's a guy here I'm looking at, Jason Marshall Jr., cornerback out of Florida. Good man coverage rate, has some good skills, 6'1", 201 pounds. Bit concerned about the passer rating against he's had, but he's been improving every year. Is coming off an injury, but we need to get more bodies in that corner room. Did have 2 touchdowns last year, 5 touchdowns in 2023, but no interceptions. But I think he can be a potential high risk, high reward prospect for us. Let's go and take him here at pick 183. So now we go up to 209. And here's a couple of edge rushers that we could take here. There's Ethan Downs out of Oklahoma. Good run defender, good pass rush win rate. Only had 3 sacks last year, though, in 12 games, which isn't that great. 6'4", 265 pounds. And there's also Johnny Walker Jr. out of Missouri. Had a good year last year. 10 sacks, had 8 sacks in 2023. 15.4 pass rush win rate, 77 overall. Pass rush grade, 80 overall grade as well. Outside tackle. Bit lighter, 6'3", 255 pounds, but he had college reduction where the other guy didn't. So let's go and take him here in the 6th round, and you get up to 213. Ethan Downs is still here. I say let's go ahead and double dip there and take both. I mean, why the heck not? We're going to look at Downs, get some depth edge there, which we need. So go ahead and go to pick 251, which our last pick of this draft. And maybe we can get another wide receiver for us, or maybe a guard. I'm looking at his Marcus Ware guy here out of Montana State. Had a lot of really good peripherals here. Has some flexibility. Could be a really good Packer for us, potentially, maybe. Or we can look at defensive line and get a guy back here with like Nash Hutchmaker. Not so great there. Zeke Biggers. That is an unfortunate name. Oh, gosh. No, sir. You are bad. Joey Slackman, potentially. Had a really good 2023. Could potentially be a good guy. 6'3", 300 pounds, but very old prospect there. What do we have here? Offensive line. Elijah Badger. Oh, wow. Wow. 6'1", 192 pounds. Really good receiving grades. Really good consistent catcher. Good against man coverage. You, sir, are a Green Bay Packer. Let's go ahead and select Elijah Badger here as our last pick. We'll round out our really wide receiver heavy draft. So look at our draft here. They said that was a good trade. We got Jahdae Barron, absolutely in love with this guy. Xavier Restapro, I think could be a good receiver for us. Derek Harmon will be a massive record on the interior defensive line, which we need. Pat Bryant, big body receiver the Packers will love. Luke Kandra, I think could be a good guard depth. Jake Majors, good center in case Josh Myers leaves. Smile Mondon Jr., good linebacker to line up with as our third back in the 4-3 system. Jason Marshall Jr. as a developmental defensive back piece. And then we got some edge depth here with Johnny Walker Jr. and Ethan Downs, and another receiver in Elijah Badger. Overall, I really like this draft. I just wish one of those other second-round receivers in Higgins or Beck was there. Even though Restapro is good, he doesn't really fit the Packers' mold of receiver. But other than that, I think this is a very, very solid draft. I might have gone a little too greedy with the picks here, but that's just me trying to explore some more players. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Who do you think the Packers should draft? What other prospect I should be keeping my eye out for? I appreciate all the discussion here. Draft season, one of my favorite times of the season. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.